an award-winning speaker. So I'm looking forward to his speech today, My Neighbor's Dog. Please join me in welcoming.
Imagine this. You're home, you just crawled into bed, comfy or cozy, and you just started to drift off to sleep. And you hear this. That's right, your neighbor's barking dog. And it goes on and on and on. You're going crazy. Has this ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got one.
It's happened to me too. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Don't get me wrong, I love dogs. I've owned dogs, and I understand that dogs bark. That's what they do. But I've tried to be conscious of my dog if my dog was annoying other people and take care of the problem. And I guess I expect the same from other people. Now, it was about 4 or 5 years ago that my wife and I were looking to get a new house, to upgrade. And one of the things we were looking for was a house on a bigger piece of land, because the neighborhood that we had come from, the houses were really packed in tight. Sometimes barking dogs could be an annoyance. We ended up buying a house that's on a half-acre of land, so a bit more than we had before. And we had hoped that that would help create a buffer between us and our neighbors. And I'm telling you that for at least 3 years, we had lots of peace and quiet. And really, that turns out to be because there was no one else around us. We were there on the edge of the neighborhood. The only thing around us was sagebrush. And the closest we got to a barking dog was the occasional yipping coyote. And even more often than that, maybe we hear this. I can fall asleep to the sound of a cricket much easier than a barking dog, so that was very nice. Of course, as you can guess it, houses started to be built in my neighborhood as the recession receded, and a house went up next to our backyard. And at that house, the owners have a dog. And it turns out to be those little terrier dogs that yip and bark. I have a recording. I'll see if you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Annoying. However, I'll tell you that these neighbors are conscientious because they recognize that their dog barks, and their dog is only outside for a very short amount of time, and never at night. So we came to adjust to this new neighbor and their barking dog and got into a routine, and life went on. 6 months later, another house goes up. Guess what? They have a dog. And I'll be honest with you, I climbed up on the fence to peek into their yard to see their dog. They don't have one dog. They don't have 2, 3, 4, or even 5 dogs. They have 6 dogs.
Oh, God.
6 big Akitas. I'm trying to think, in my past, what have I done to deserve this? What karma is coming back to haunt me? Well, it turns out that out of these 6 dogs, 5 of them I don't hear. But occasionally, one of those dogs gets going, and this is what I hear. I hate that when I'm trying to fall asleep. It drives me crazy. Now, for a little while, I was beside myself as to what to do about this barking dog. But I was resolved to do something. And, like any good lawyer, I looked up the law. For any of you who might have the same problem as me, I'm going to tell you what the law is. It is unlawful for any person to keep, harbor, or own any animal which by making loud and frequent noises causes annoyance to the neighborhood or to a reasonable person in the vicinity. Well, that's my situation. That fits with me. I have a loud dog that's making lots of noise by barking and is annoying me, a very reasonable person. Now you can go on Washoe County's website and they will give you advice and explain the complaint process. They suggest that you gather information like the date and time that the dog barks, maybe record the dog if you can, and then it explains the complaint process. There's a 3 complaint process. It's really kind of a 3 strikes and you're out kind of thing. The first 2 complaints are an opportunity for the owner of the dog to correct the problem. But then that 3rd complaint, that's where the kicker comes in. That's when the owner can be fined. That's good stuff. That's justice. That's what that is. When I learned about this, I'll tell you what, I was gung-ho. I was ready to gather my information and make a complaint. And I'll tell you what, I was almost dying for this dog to bark now. Whenever that dog barks, I grab my phone, bust out the door, I get up there next to the fence and I record that dog. I was ready to go. Now I'll tell you that my wife tempered my enthusiasm a little bit, and in her wisdom, she suggested that maybe in the interest of harmony with this neighbor that we may be living next to for years to come, instead of jumping right in there and making a complaint, why don't you just go talk to him? Well, I ended up following my wife's advice, and although initially I couldn't get a hold of him because his voicemail was full, I wonder why. I go over to his house, he wasn't there. But eventually I did get a hold of him, and it turned out very well. He was receptive to my complaint, he was apologetic, and he said he would take care of the problem. And ever since then, I haven't heard a peep from any of the dogs. It worked out great. Now I have, I think, 4 more houses to go up around me, and perhaps I'm being pessimistic, but I think there's probably going to be more barking dogs in my future. But now, I'm educated, I have a game plan, and I'm armed with my cell phone to record my neighbor's dog. Thanks.